Okay. Did we do it? I think we did it. Okay. So I'm live. Hello. Hello. Um, I am taking deep breaths. I'm going to put some background music on the live of the YouTubes and the Facebooks. Um, so I'm typing into IG Live right now. It's difficult. On YouTube's or Facebook. Live. Boom. Done. Did it. Okay. Hi. Um. Oh, I had a person minute left. Okay. Oh, well, that's totally fine. Let me continue to set up here on this restream. Do a little bit of music in the background. No, I think. Sorry. It wasn't that. Okay. It wasn't lo-fi. Down tempo, I guess. Okay, that's a little bit better, I guess. I don't know. People are weird. Okay, I wanted to get on live, but now I'm like wondering if I even want to do this. I'm really tired, I think. Or just drained, really. Um, so trying to think about, trying to process. Okay. I think I'm gonna turn the music off. It's distracting me. Okay. 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 Let me update my little caption. Actually, nah, that's fine. I don't give a shit. Okay. It's late. It's a Wednesday night, and revelations and rebirths and new things always seem to pop up on a Wednesday. And I got a lot of really awesome work done today. I launched my newsletter that I've been talking about for the last like 4 months. It was like basically my only legit New Year's resolution. And I finally like started, what's the word? Hi, Trippy. Oh, dang. Okay. So Trippy has entered the chat. Hi, Mamas. Hello, baby. Um, I also joined like a Twitter space, a couple of Twitter spaces today, and actually like spoke up in one for the first time in like a month or so, which is brand. It's not new for me, but I got really into Twitter spaces in like February, January, sometime around then. And then after like for the entire month of March, I really like didn't do much because of everything that was happening in my personal life. I just had to kind of like focus on surviving and begging on the internet. So it was actually really liberating and invigorating to speak up in a Twitter space spontaneously today. Yeah, actually, the last Twitter space I spoke up in was on March 11th, the morning, the early twilight hours of the day that I got evicted from Southern Oregon University campus housing. And then tomorrow, in just a few short hours, in about 12 hours, I'll be back on campus for the first time since then to get my stuff because they gave me a 30-minute eviction notice and I didn't have anywhere to go. So I took what I could with me, and it wasn't a lot. But thankfully, I'm still alive. I was able to work on getting my stuff together. No, it's not the right phrase. I don't know. I'm still alive. And that's the most important part. And, it's just like life is hard. So I am doing this live to talk about mental health. That's actually been the theme of this day, and it's been the theme of this week. Mental health on a large scale, on a communal scale, on a global scale, and also, I just realized I need to. God, I hope people can hear me. Who cares? I'm gonna put this off, I think. Yeah, that feels better. Mental health on a large scale and global scale, and then also mental health um, on a personal level, and how it is so integral to the work that I do. I think I'm going to wax poetically for the next like 2 or 3 minutes and then probably end this live. But at, there was a moment I felt compelled to get some information out, and my head is so foggy right now. I'm almost forgetting why I even started this live. But I think I remember. And it has to do with the title of this live. 1-800-273-8255. That is the suicide prevention hotline for the United States. It's a crisis hotline that was created to provide support for folks who are struggling with suicidal ideation and depression and wanting to end their lives. And if you call that number or if you text that number, you're connected with a trained volunteer to try to help you get through that moment of crisis. It's a number that I've called and texted countless times in my life, especially in the last 4 to 5 years. I don't think I actually contacted that number before my really big suicide attempt, actually. So that's what I want to talk about. You know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read this little note that I wrote while I was in this Twitter space earlier today that ended up being a Twitter space to talk about mental health for digital creators and cryptocurrency innovators and NFT artists and people who are at the front lines and the progressive edge of innovation and creating this Web3 digital community and all of these other terms that I barely understand, but I was inspired. I was inspired and I was energized and I was amped up to the point where that Twitter space ended 6 hours ago and I'm still coming down from that high. And so what I want to do is just read that little snippet from that that I wrote out to share with the folks there after I had been contributing and speaking up for like a little bit. And then I want to talk about the song that shares the title of this crisis hotline, the Logic song, that rap song that was Logic and Alessia Cara and Khaled from 4.5 years ago. And then I'm going to dip and I'm going to reflect and I'm going to try my best to keep moving forward. So here's what I wrote. Thank you for this space. I did not realize how much I needed it. I want to share a quick note about the importance of this week. Trigger warning for depression, suicide if you need to mute. I'll wait. 5 years ago, on April 15th, 2017, I attempted suicide. That date is the most significant suicide attempt in my life. I was 23. It wasn't the first or last, but it was the one that landed me in the hospital, in an inpatient program, and later an intensive outpatient program. It changed my life and saved my life and led me down a long and intense journey of understanding my mental health and identity as a Black, Irish, queer, non-binary femme who was born and raised in an evangelical cult in rural Southern Oregon. In September of last year, 2021, I finally had the courage to come out as non-binary and change my name to Ife Font. Most of my bio family and loved ones responded with complete silence or anger. And honestly, the former felt and still feels worse. I had originally intended on holding a literal IRL funeral for my past self this Friday, a Black parade of sorts to honor the 5-year anniversary of when I almost died. I'm unable to do that because of extenuating circumstances, but this has inspired me today to hold some sort of virtual space this Friday, April 15th. Mental health is so important. It's the backbone of my life's work, my drive, my purpose in this world. So thank you. Thank you again for holding space for these honest and open conversations. I hope to continue contributing to this tribe. To me, nothing is more important than community. Nailed it. Thank you for that punctuation. You know that's gonna get picked up on the mic, right? Like that's for sure gonna get picked up on the mic. Thanks for holding it in until I finished my reading my thing.
You're welcome.
Brilliant. Okay, so that was incredible. Could not have ended better. But yeah, this Friday I am going to host some sort of online space. I'm still trying to figure out the logistics and what feels authentic and what feels the most supportive, not only for myself but for the community. I'm trying to build the world I want to see, the change I want to be. I started on this tangent and felt compelled to go live and talk about the crisis hotline and this particular song that shares the crisis hotline phone number because of a conversation I was having with my little sister earlier. And I'm going to screen share for a second. So when that song came out in August of 2017, I was in the final weeks of my intensive outpatient program from that major suicide attempt. And it was going well, and it was hard, and I was tired, and I was unsure of how I was going to keep going forward. I was also in the process of moving because I had to leave my very first apartment, the very first lease I ever signed, my very first space of my own that ended up being not great, and was in the process of moving. And then I moved, and I got into this apartment that I ended up living at for 2 years, and it's still my favorite place. It's the only dwelling that I truly consider my own home. It's the only space that I've lived in my adult life for more than a year. And it's the only space that I truly wanted and worked so hard to be mine and represent the community I wanted to build. It's actually the site of my first commercial that I starred in for my attempted startup Rethrift. I think in 2018, January of 2018. Shout out to Marcus Lim for making that dope ass commercial, and I really hope we can make the sequel to that commercial very soon. But I remember being in that apartment and watching the music video for 1-800-273-8255. I remember feeling overwhelmed. I remember crying. And then I remember commenting on the YouTube video. Do you want to see what I commented? Here we go. Uh-oh. It's not working. Pourquoi? Pourquoi no funciona? Okay, that's fine. I'll do a screenshot. I'm trying to remember how to do that. There's my little screenshot button. Snipping tool, where is it? Did I not save it? That seems insane. That seems insane. Why would I not do that? Who decided this? That's crazy that I have not pinned that to my taskbar. That should have been the first thing I did. Anyhow. So when you try to pull up that video, you get a content warning. And then perhaps you see a video by a random account whose username is Kayla Marie that has a picture of a young woman with her dog. That was from the same year this video was released, and has 51 likes. Perhaps you see those two things. So perhaps you see first this. The following content may contain suicide or self-harm topics. And you have the choice to actually move forward and watch the video. And it also has a link to the chat and the crisis number hotline, which is incredible. And then perhaps you scroll down to one of the first comments on the video, like literally like one of the first comments on the video. It would take you some time to find it, unless you are logged into that original account that you made when you were, I don't know, like 13 or 14. And thankfully, you were able to still log into even on this new computer when you did not remember the password. But thankfully, you updated your phone number. So you were able to recover the account that you had since you were 13. And then when you were 23, you watched this music video and you commented the following. Because at the time when this music video first came out, there was no automated trigger warning or content warning. There was nothing to that effect. And there's like 51 likes on it now, but at the time there were a bunch of comments that have since been deleted, I guess. And most of those comments were telling me to stop being a baby, and or why don't I just try to finish the job and actually kill myself and get it over with. And I remember writing a post about it on Facebook, and I remember writing a response to it, but that Facebook account and apparently that reply has since been deleted. But it was something along the lines of, to everyone out there telling me to just go ahead and try to kill myself again, guess what? I've already tried to make another attempt. You telling me, you, some faceless internet stranger, telling me to end my life is not going to hurt me anymore. I've been there and I've done that. And my only concern is looking out for other people who are having the same thoughts and dealing with the same things and struggling with the same struggles as me. This August, me standing up for myself on the internet for the first time and really being honest and open about my mental health in a public setting. In just a few short months, we'll come up on the 5-year anniversary of that. So yeah, this week sucks for me. There's a lot of dark anniversaries. And I wanted to celebrate that I made it through. But extenuating circumstances made it so that I can't. But maybe come August, I can celebrate actually standing up for myself. That'd be pretty dope, right? I'm 28. It's 2022. If you had told me this is where I'd be and this is who I am 10 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. And even though life is hard and I'm struggling, and most days I don't know what I'm doing. I'm really happy I'm here still. And I'm really happy you're here too. For real.